Hi everybody, my name is Justin and I'm here in New Britain at the campaign office of the mayor. He's been able to sit down with us and answer a few questions for all you YouTube viewers and Twitterers and people on Facebook. And the mayor of New Britain has been in office for 6 years now? 6 years, since 2003. And he was able to get elected in a overwhelmingly Democratic district. Since mayor, he's been able to preserve the city's financial state, reduce spending, and keep the mill rate down. We're going to talk with the mayor for a few minutes here today, and start off with a simple question, basically. Why are you running again?
Simple questions are usually the hardest, to be honest with you. Sometimes I wonder why we continue to beat ourselves up in the political world, but politics for me has been about public service. I've served this community for many, many years in a lot of different capacities. As an employee, I worked at the fire department for 19 years. I've dedicated a good portion of my professional life to the city of New Britain. I got involved in politics a number of years ago through former Mayor Linda Blogosowski. She appointed me as a commissioner for the city plan. And I got to see really the inner workings of a city and how things get done. What I found was it kind of piqued my interest, and I got more and more involved, and more people encouraged me to get involved at a much higher level. And when I ran for council, I was victorious there 2 terms. And then I decided to run for mayor because I thought the opportunity presented itself for a real good change for the city of New Britain. And to me, public service is about giving back to your community. I've been a long time volunteer in many, many community efforts here in the city. I've been a coach, coached a lot of kids over the years. Now I'm finally seeing a lot of them graduate high school and go on to college, which is kind of fun. Because you know, a lot of them always say, you know, you were the best coach I ever had, or stuff like that, and it always makes you feel real good. But you know, serving as its mayor is public service in its highest form for any community, and you're the #1 citizen in the city, and people always look to you for direction, for guidance, for answers. And sometimes you can't always give it to them, but it truly is an honor to serve in this capacity, and I think I still have a little bit more to give, and that's why I'm running again.
Did you ever foresee yourself falling into politics? I mean, I know you went for engineering at
No, never.
University of Hartford, right?
I never had an inclination towards the political world. My uncle served as a state representative in the city for several years. I want to say it was in the 24th district. He lived over in Monroe Street. And I used to help his campaigns, putting signs up, things like that. And then his son ran for that seat, and I was his treasurer. That was kind of my first real serious interest in a political campaign, and served as his treasurer. And I found it kind of interesting, but I never really had an inclination to get into politics. You know, my education is in engineering, more technical related stuff. So I didn't really have that interest growing up. But as you get older and you get involved in more and more things, I think it's more of a magnet for people like me to get involved in the political world, because I think today a lot of people perceive all politicians as being a certain way, and your base of new people to get involved are really in the volunteer organizations throughout the community, and that's where I was encouraged to get involved in politics.
Right. I mean, you've been here your whole life, and you know a lot of people, and from the people I've talked to and just seeing you around, you've made it a point to go to a lot of these community things, like the Puerto Rican Festival,
Sure.
the Dojinki Festival, and people take notice of that. What other advantages do you think you hold during this campaign season?
I will tell you, when I do a lot of those events, it's incumbent upon me as the mayor to have a visibility factor, if you will, out in the community at all these events. And I went to these events before I became mayor, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not new for me to have to go to all these events. The difference being now, as its mayor, when you show up at these events, you're always asked to speak and give remarks.
Spotlight.
So, you know, the spotlight gets put on you a lot more than if you were just a person participating or showing off for some good ethnic food or some dancing or something along those lines. So it's an honor really to always be looked to for some words of wisdom, or at least some positive remarks about the communities to which you're serving. As far as advantages in this election, I'm a lifelong New Britain resident. I've lived here my entire life. My family's lived here their entire life. My wife's family's lived here their entire life. So I've got a lot of connections, if you will, through schools. You know, I went to various schools throughout the community. I went to DeLoretto School, I went to North End School, I went to Roosevelt, I went to New Britain High School. And you make a lot of friends and a lot of connections over the years, and many of those people still here today. And